AITA for refusing to sell my inherited duplex to fund my sister's influencer wedding because my parents think I'm just the mailman. I am, in fact, a mail carrier. I've walked the same route for 12 years and I like it, and my family has never once let me forget it. At every gathering, I am introduced as just the mailman, usually by my mother, usually right before she talks about my sister Delphine, who has 140,000 followers and a ring light in every room of an apartment I helped her pay the deposit on. The duplex is the thing that broke it open. Our grandfather left it to me, only me. He was specific about it in a way that surprised everyone, and I found out why later. But at the time, all anyone could talk about was how unfair it was that the mailman got the building and the influencer got nothing. I rent out the top unit and live in the bottom, and the rent from upstairs is the reason I sleep at night. It is my whole security. It is the only thing I own. Delphine got engaged in the spring and announced a wedding with a budget that made me laugh out loud when I first heard it, until I realized nobody else was laughing. $90,000, a destination venue, a videographer flown in, a content team. She had a spreadsheet. She did not have $90,000. What she had was a plan, and the plan was me. My mother called it a family conversation. It was an ambush at their dining table, both parents and Delphine, and my mother slid a piece of paper toward me that was a rough estimate of what the duplex would sell for. "You don't need a whole building," she said. "You're one person. You're a mailman. Your sister has a real future to launch." Delphine said the wedding was basically a business investment and that the exposure would pay everyone back. My father said family helps family. I said no, not loudly, just no. And the room turned on me the way I always knew it could. Selfish, cold, sitting on a fortune while my sister's dreams died. My mother said my grandfather would be ashamed, and that was the sentence that sent me looking, because I had known my grandfather, and he had never once been ashamed of me. He was the only one who called me by my name instead of my job. When he was dying, he'd handed me a key to a safe deposit box and said, "When they come for the building, and they will, this is in here." I'd forgotten about it. I hadn't wanted to think about the coming for the building part. I went to the bank that week. Inside the box was the deed, which I had a copy of already, and underneath it a letter in his handwriting, and underneath that, bank statements. His statements, going back 6 years. My grandfather had been meticulous. He had documented every loan he'd given my parents that was never repaid, every check written to bail out one of Delphine's ventures, the boutique, the second boutique, the candle company, the first wedding that got called off after the deposits were already spent. $216,000, itemized, dated, with a note beside the total in his shaking hand. "This is why the building goes to the one who never asked. He is not the mailman. He is the only one I trust to keep it." The letter explained the rest. He'd left me the duplex specifically because he knew they would try to liquidate it, and he'd left me the evidence so that when they said he'd have wanted me to sell, I would know, in writing, that the opposite was true. He'd thought of everything, the way he always did. I did not read it aloud at the dinner. I photographed every page, I put the originals back in the box, and the next time my mother brought up selling, I emailed the whole family a single scan, the letter, the total, the sentence with my name in it, and the word mailman crossed out in his own pen. My mother called it a forgery until she recognized the handwriting, and then she stopped calling. Delphine downsized the wedding to something she could afford, which turned out to be a nice afternoon in a garden, and posted about choosing intimacy over excess to great engagement. My parents and I are cordial now, in the careful way of people who both know what's in a safe deposit box. I still walk my route. I still live in the bottom unit with the good tenant upstairs and the rent that lets me sleep at night. The letter is in a frame in the hallway, next to the door I go out of every morning in my uniform, and I read the last line some mornings before I leave.